welcome back to those who've been joining us for previous speakers, and hello and welcome to those of you who have just tuned in now to the Women's Biz Tribe Next Level Success Summit. Oh my goodness, so many pearls of wisdom at this summit. I am just so excited to be hosting you at this event. My name is Annie Gibbins. For those I have not yet met, I am the CEO of Women's Biz Tribe, which is a global community of empowered women who collaborate and we help each other to achieve our own unique versions of success, balance, and happiness. Isn't that just the right recipe? Oh my goodness, that's what we strive to do, so that we just beat all the overwhelm and exhaustion and we just go the slick stream to the success pathway. So that's what we're all about doing. And I'm so delighted that I'm able to introduce you to our next speaker today. Her name is Pooja Bhatia. And Pooja is a technology transfer professional, a host. She thinks she's a bit of a newbie entrepreneur because she's a hands-on mom at the moment, but she's also the recipient of a Global Women's Leadership Award in 2021. She's a Best Woman Mentor Award 2021. She was a runner-up in Women's Power Impact Creator. She's the WIPF Powerful Woman in IP Award winner. Oh my goodness, she's got so much expertise. She's all about assisting startups and innovators and entrepreneurs to convert their ideas and innovations into IP. So this one's going to be really interesting for you. She's going to be sharing about her expertise in the area of protecting and commercializing IPs. And so welcome to this summit, Pooja.
Thank you, Annie. I hope everybody is enjoying the session so far and has gained a lot of experience and knowledge from the speakers, because the lineup was great. Annie has really worked in getting good speakers for the session. So I congratulate you, Annie, for having the wonderful lineup of speakers sharing their experiences. I have also heard few of them and really enjoyed their talk.
Fantastic.
And then I would like to, walk you through what I have been doing so far and what I'm doing now. But before that, I would like you all to imagine yourself working deep into the night, say 3 a.m., as you have had a meeting till 11 p.m. and you have another session to take at 3:30 a.m. So there's absolutely no time to sleep. I don't know about you, but I will definitely not wake up on time for the session at 3:30. You snatch short sleep hours to start your normal workday with a client meeting scheduled maybe at 7 a.m. In the morning and throughout the day. You have a child looking at you with expectations. Now, you can't blame her because that is what she wants. She wants you to play with her, spend time with her, speak to her, and maybe read out the stories. And you have a lot of work. You are sleep deprived. You may be with her, telling her the stories, but still your brain is processing something else. Now let's move a step ahead. Imagine that your husband has an holiday. He and your child are playing outside while you are working. That too at different time zone in comparison to regular working hours. So, would you call this as a work-life misbalance? Would you enjoy living such a life? Maybe it may be difficult for you to answer this question because you don't know the rest of the story. I was living this life for last 2 years till I realized I don't want it anymore. And I want my time to be mine. Now, how did I break out of this circle? I'll be sharing in a bit. But I was trained as a biotechnologist. I did my master's in biotechnology. And as a science student, I had a set path that I have to, pursue PhD. But again, I deviated from there. I did not go ahead with PhD. I was trained in intellectual property rights matter under a scheme run by Government of India. It is called as the Kiran scheme. That was in way back in 2006. And after that, I have been in this field helping startups, academic institutions in protecting their IP and commercializing it. And for the last 16 years, I have thoroughly enjoyed negotiating and cracking the deals for the startups and academic institutions. The real joy when you sign the license agreement, have the technologies transferred to a company who is actually working on it and bringing out those technologies to the market is really, it's undescribable, because when you look at the product on the aisle, you feel really proud that you were the one who have cracked this deal and ensured that the research reaches to the market and people are using it. So that is an interesting side of my career, where as a tech transfer professional, I help in breaking down the barriers and ensuring that the technology reaches to the public, uh, or to us for our use. Now, after heading the IP and Tech Transfer Division at one of the India's first tech transfer office, which is Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer, the IP and Tech Transfer arm of prestigious institute in India, which is IIT Delhi, I helped in setting up and heading a regional tech transfer office, which is known as Innovation Technology Transfer Office. It was set up with support from National Biopharma Mission by RAC. Now, because of pandemic, everybody was working virtually, so was I, but I was working in a different time zone. I was in US and I was working for the Indian startups and academic institutions. With a new baby born, I was sleep deprived, irritated most of the time, but I was pumped because I was managing two babies at the same time. And that is what kept me motivated to go through the entire cycle for 2 years. But later, since I did believe that I was making a difference and contributing to the ecosystem, the mirror kind of shattered, which was intact. But then somebody remarked in a meeting that I need to change my bedtime so that I could be part of a meeting that was at 4 a.m. my time. Well, waking up at 4 a.m. is not a challenge, uh, nor attending the meeting at that particular hour was a challenge. But the comment was unwanted. Who would like to be, committed about their bedtime? And that way, if I have to change it, why not for my family? So it was a wake up call for me. It was a very difficult situation, but I did leave my job. And while I was kind of resting, as I call myself, a resting period that I undertook, I tried to analyze what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses. Yes, a SWOT analysis for myself, I did that. Try to identify how do I differ, what difference can I make in others' life. So the end result was that I did identify I have two internationally recognized credentials. I have experience in IP strategy, working with startups, academic institutions across the globe, working with the Asian startups as well as startups here in US, gave me a broader experience and a different outlook of the problems that the startups faced in different countries. Then I also had the experience of tech transfer and helping in scouting technologies and IP. Now, mind you, finding the right technology is not an easy job, because you should know where to exactly look for it. You should also know how to assess and be sure that whatever you are picking up as a as an asset for your own company is not infringing on anyone else's IP, and it is safe enough for you to incorporate in your business strategy. So with this framework that, professionally, these are my stronger or strengths points for me, I also looked at the other traits that I have. So I have a flair for writing and I love to talk and listen to stories. So I thought that is another second strong point for me, because listening or hearing to people is also very crucial. You should be patient enough to keep your eyes ear and not respond back to them and just listen to what they have to say. And in the meantime, since I was on a break, I did connect with a lot of friends who were, some of them were entrepreneurs. Some of the clients had connected back, and I did discover that there is a lack of platform where they could share their stories and experiences, especially in India. So that is how Dhwani was born. And I am a host now, a mentor for some of the startups, a facilitator helping innovators with strategizing the protection of IP and commercializing it, a collaborator. So I have my time and I am doing the things that I love to do, and that too within the time frame that I have, without compromising on my sleep, without compromising on my health, and without compromising on the time that is supposed to be my daughter's time. Uh, but doing all this, I still need to have me time. That is very, very essential. I have incorporated that, and that is something that will help you in ensuring that you are completely, happy and rejuvenated at each moment. You're motivated to take up new challenges. I have changed my bedtime, but for me, not for anyone else. I hope the person who had commented comes across this with this session, and they come to know uh, that I have shared the issue which was created by them, but it has helped me. Even though, I would like to point out that my days were hectic at that particular time, I did learn a lot. I did learn how to manage things, how to deal with clients, how to deal with startups, how to be empathetic with the entrepreneurs. And I had never imagined that I could also become an entrepreneur. So, as Annie has correctly pointed out, I do believe myself to be a newbie entrepreneur because I'm still learning, still trying to create things and bring a difference in many, many people's life, with the hope that, whatever is my experience could be useful to somebody someday. Now, how do I work with? I have a 2-year-old child. I'm a full-time mom. I am mentoring. How do I, manage the entire stuff? I prioritize each task. I have allocated days for each activity. I also have reserved my weekends for just studying or reading, learning new things, and enjoying. I also write uh, I'm running a newsletter on LinkedIn where I share my experience related to licensing and IP, and running a tech transfer office so that the many emerging leaders can go through it and learn from it. So if you are like me, stuck in a position and not sure of how you can break through, believe me, you can do it, and please believe yourself. You will know what is when it is the right time to break out of that circle. Even though the 2 years were very tough, any situation would be tough for you, but keep moving on. It will help you in carving a new path for you. Now, I would also like to share a bit about Dhwani, the platform that I have, and what exactly do I do there. So, I, as a host, try to bring out stories of women entrepreneurs, innovators, and experts who have been juggling their, professional and personal lives. In the process, I have learned a lot from them. I have spoken to two entrepreneurs who have, started up their startup while their child was 1 year old, and the other did a startup along with doing a course in law. So they kind of inspired me, and I hope through the money I'm able to inspire the other women out there who may have lost that motivation just as I had, and could spring back on their feet and find a new path for themselves. It's never too late to realize your dreams. Plan things accordingly. Try to break up things into small, actionable points, as we do in our professional life. Even do it in your personal life. Have everything broken up into small steps. Try to achieve as much as you can. But even if you don't achieve all of it, still give yourself a pat because you have achieved something. And remember to breathe in and breathe out to keep yourself calm and in a position to think and innovate. And also, please remember that slow and steady wins the race. You are not competing with anyone. You are maybe competing with yourself, but not with anyone else. You are try to be yourself and be happy, and to realize your dream whenever you can. I have realized that after 16 years that I can also be an entrepreneur and do something different. So I wish you all the very best, Thank you so much for attending this summit and listening to me. I wish you all good luck in your ventures. Thank you, Annie, for such a wonderful opportunity to share my journey.
Oh, thank you so much, Pooja. Oh, it just brings me back to those days when I was a young mum myself, and I totally resonate. And I know that those people listening in around the globe are going to be those who are mums at the moment with little toddlers and thinking, oh my gosh, what has happened with my career and my hopes and my dreams? And as a mum of five, that I had five, I totally relate to that sort of feeling that sometimes you can just have a total overwhelm, right? You can have overwhelm of just there's so much to do with a toddler and this new life that you've now got, and you don't want to change anything, but it can become just all consuming. And then there can also be, as you've referenced, that sort of feeling of, well, what am I to do now? Like after listening to your message, you're an academic, you're a scientist, you're a highly intelligent woman she's spending 16 years in a career path with expertise. How do you actually sort of gel that together while the essence that I heard in your presentation, which is looking after actually yourself, right? What time do you have for you? What does that even look like? What are you wanting? How do you keep yourself happy and healthy and balanced? And it's the recipe that we're all trying to get. So those of you who are listening in, you all get complimentary membership of Women's Biz Tribe for a month. Come and meet us and join us. You can definitely reach out to Pooja directly there. You can also see her website on the scrolling screen, inoberry.com, and you'll be able to ask her some questions if you'd like to connect with a mum who's in your situation. What I absolutely love there, and I've noticed so many people that I've been coaching with, is that the global pandemic has actually hit at a time that so many women are now given that opportunity, like you have, to go, you know what, I will become an entrepreneur, and I might have my L plates on and I might not know how to do it. I'm a bit of a learner, but there's so much information there. There's so many people there to help you. Definitely you're getting that from this summit, and you're also going to get that in the tribe, everybody. But there's just so much to learn along the way, and we have fun while we do it, and we collaborate and we share together. And I bet, Pooja, your business now, it looks so different than you could have ever imagined, right? Sometimes you don't even know.
Yes.
Some of us
Yeah, I
have.
mean, I never imagined myself, Annie, as a host. Um, Forget about me. I think even my parents did not imagine me, hosting a show. So now they are the ones who look, they keep on checking the videos that are coming out, and they share their feedback with me. And in fact, they would also tell me, you have so many likes. So it's
Yeah.
a bit of a surprise for them too, that their own daughter can do this, especially after spending 16 years into a profession. So
Mm.
so that is why I would say that it's never late to achieve your dream or realize that you can do something different.
So true. It is definitely never too late. And I've got women in their 50s and 60s who are suddenly becoming entrepreneurs. And I tell you what, you've then got a lifetime of learning and expertise to put into that. So definitely never be limited by that if you're worried about that. Also, it might look totally different, or it could be a blend of what you've done before that you can then, merge into something that, now you can be helping people with. You might have been in a corporate environment looking after people's, IP and commercializing their ideas into, assets, digital assets, and so forth. But you might now lead that into coaching or advising or through your own business. And so there's so many opportunities that what you create, that's what I love about being an entrepreneur, is that what you create, it can be whatever you want. It could be, it might be what the market desires, that you never had any idea that you actually have all those skills that the market requires at this time. And I know I've had conversations with you, Pooja, about, even, with my business brand, what do you need to protect with the IP? What could be stolen off you by someone else, and then your whole business could suffer? What would be the impact, the cost of that, the stress, the emotions of even, that sort of scenario happening? There's so many factors that we can learn from you, and there's also things that you're learning from others. And I think that's so important. For you as a mum with a 2-year-old, what is the biggest challenge then? You're a busy woman, you're out there winning awards, you're a classic, driven, trying to make it happen sort of entrepreneur while adjusting to this new phase. What have been the biggest challenges in that for you to share with the audience?
The first challenge was that when when I was on the break and trying to figure out, I was completely clueless that what can I do. So that was the biggest challenge for me, to narrowing down that what actually I can do. And then I thought, I'm just uh, I don't need to spend too much time thinking about it, maybe straight away jump into it. But then there was something that was holding me back, that no, I should think about it well before I jump into the fire. But I think you should start. We shouldn't overthink about anything and start working on whatever we love to experiment, see if it works, it's fine. Otherwise, just, shelf it off and move on to the next thing.
Mm.
I do the same thing with my daughter too. So I try to find things that could keep her busy for 20-30 minutes so that I can, do something of my own. If that doesn't work, I try move on to experiment number two. Being, a science student, that is how I get into experimentation, experiment with her, see what works and what not doesn't. But then there are some days where the days are smooth with the child, and you can, manage. I would get all the 8 things tick off from my list that, I've done it. But then there are some days when maybe one is also not done. So then you do feel a bit low, but then I kind of tell myself, it's a day, it gets over, we'll have another day, I'll work it out. But then at that time, you need to have the clients and people and mentors who would understand that you're going through this situation. So some of them do, you know, being a woman, they would understand that what are the challenges. But as men, they feel, you can still manage it. They kind of don't understand. I can't just keep my child in front of the TV the entire day. To work on something. So
Mhm.
these are the kind of challenges that I have faced. And also one challenge is, especially when, there's sleep regression at my daughter's end.
Mhm.
It is like you are brain dead. You just can't think about anything. So, but then we take one day at a time and move forward.
Yeah, I love that advice. Every day is a fresh day, and many of us would have had those moments that, that's right, your child's not well, or it's just full on, or you think I'm going to do things when they finally settle down at night, and then you're exhausted, and that's okay. I think we have to really listen to our bodies, listen to
Right.
our capacity, so that we don't burn ourselves out in that way. Then you'll have other opportunities that you'll go, okay, if I get myself really organized and you have a great day, you can then lean into those opportunities that you're wanting to pursue. I also love that point that you said that you can just try things, and I think that was one of my biggest stumbling blocks too. It's kind of like when you've been a professional and you're used to things being exact, or what your
Yeah.
level of expertise is. You think, well, when I start up my business, it has to be exactly that, whereas it actually doesn't. I think a lot of that early time is actually playing with it, right? Learning how it works, learning your systems, your processes, learning about your market. What are people actually wanting to hear from you? What are they wanting to receive? What problem do you solve? And that may or may not surprise you. And then also, what do you absolutely love doing? Once you start playing around with your business, you'll find the things that are just like not so fun, and you'll find the other bits that you just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get paid to do this. And so that's the dream. Well, for me, that is, I don't know if it's for you. I try to always go, how do I get myself in that top 20% of that? I just absolutely love doing this, and then I can then have my business big enough that I can outsource the other things, so that you can stay, as we call in business, the genius zone, and it makes you happier, healthier, more balanced, because you're not carrying those anchors. Now, saying that, it's also easy to do that when you're at the other end. We also need to appreciate that takes time to build, right? And those of
Yeah.
you who are in that early stage of being an entrepreneur and having little kiddies as well, oh my gosh, it is always a juggle. So don't be thinking, even if other people make it look like it's really
It's
easy.
quite simple, but it's not. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy, and that's actually normal. You're raising these beautiful new human beings, and you want to give your whole self to them. But as you said, it's about prioritizing your time and your energy and what you're wanting to achieve, so that when you get those windows, which you have to seize more intentionally when you're a young mum, right?
Yeah.
Because those windows can be fleeting. But as you said, it could be just 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, while they're doing something, and you can chip away, chip away, chip chip away. So I love what you've shared today. Fantastic. So when people reach out to you, they find you in the tribe, what would you most likely love to share with them? What's your encouraging words to finish up, Pooja?
My encouraging words would be that, start up. Don't think too much. And moreover, network. As more you would network, you would connect with people, you'll get to know more stories and more challenges they have faced. You could also identify a problem that you would like to solve. You could get an idea from there, what you would like to start on. So
Exactly.
network.
Network, come and meet everybody. Come and just make yourself available. Don't be shy. Pop out a video on the tribe website. Just tell everybody who you are, who you serve, what you're wanting to achieve. I think the biggest secret is actually that biggest step sometimes is just kind of saying, hello, I'm here. Because we always think, oh my gosh, everyone else is going to be so amazing. And let's face it, we're all friggin' amazing in our own way, but we're also at different stages and we have different levels of expertise. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Those of you listening in, make sure you've got some comments. Write in the comments what questions that you might like to ask Pooja. She can come in after this event and answer those. Definitely when you reach out into the tribe, look for Pooja. She would love to meet you and share with you more. I look forward to seeing you with our next speaker very soon.